Hey everybody, Pastor Dane Johansson here again from Agris Reformed Baptist Church, taking you through the next section of Athenaze. This is chapter 3, part Vita. So, O Arotos Vita, page 30. So we're going to go through this. Here we have Dikeopolis, and then you have Oxanthias, Odulos Aftu, his servant, his slave. Here's Xanthias complaining. Udinaton tusutus erin lithi. It's impossible. It's not possible to lift this much rock. And they're going to have a dispute here. Let's see what's under here. It's going to explain the picture in Greek. Udinaton estin odaspota tusutus lithus ekfering. So there he goes. It is not possible, Master, so many or so great a multitude of rocks to carry out. Let's go through the vocabulary. Lipo, I leave. I just thought of the English word leap. Like I leap, I leave. Leapt out of there. So lipo, I leave. Leo, I loosen. This is the world famous Leo. You've seen those Leo charts that have, 400,000 different versions of Leo that seminary students are supposed to memorize. No, you shouldn't ever do that. You can use them to review or something. But Leo just means I loosen, I loose, I untie, I destroy. Some nouns. To dipnon, dinner. O or e pes, it's boy or girl, son, daughter, child. Ipes, you remember that from modern Greek as well. Opes. Opatir, father. There's some pronouns. Si, which is you. Adjectives. Andrios, brave. Poli, many. Tosutus, so great, so many. Here's the preposition. We've already learned en, but now we're going to learn it with the dative. En, in, at, on. Adverb. Miketi. Don't any longer do something. So we have me, which is not, and then eti, any longer, and they put this connecting consonant, the kappa there. So no longer, don't any longer do something. Epi, when. Epita, then, therefore, and then there's epi, when. There's a proper name of Philippos, which is Oyos to the Dikeopolidos, Dikeopolis' son. Alright, same standard thing. We'll read through it, translate it. En de tuto proschorio Philippos. O Philippos estin o tu Dikeopolidos ios. Pes megas te ke Andrios. Feride to dipnon pros ton patera. Epide is ton agron is veni, ton patera kali ke legi, elthe devro patir. Idu to dipnon fero, miketi un poni ala kathize ke dipni. Alright, so en the tuto, we learned N-O is meanwhile, and now en the tuto, but meanwhile, pros chori, he approaches. Who approaches? O Philippos approaches. Now we're going to ask, who is O Philippos? Well, it's going to answer right here. O Philippos estin o tu Dikeopolidos ios. He's the son of Dikeopolis. So Philip is the son of Dikeopolis. So O right here, the definite article the, is going over here with Oios. So Oios to Dikeopolidos. And that's going to describe him. Pes megas te ke Andrios. If we remember te and ke, sometimes they can be right next to each other like here. Other times they'll be separated with something in between. But Oios to Dikeopolidos, the son of Dikeopolis, is both. He's a son. He's a child who's both strong and brave. So, or he's big and brave. Megas ke Andrios. He's large and he's brave. Feride to dipnon proston patera. So feri is from pharaoh, I carry. feri, that's the third person singular ending. He carries in the present active indicative tense. He carries, so who is the one carrying? He carries, well, o Philippos is the one carrying. And he carries to dipnon, the dinner, and then a prepositional phrase, to proston patera in the accusative here. So to the father, to his father. Epide, but when, iston agron, another prepositional phrase there, iston agron, but when into the field, isveni, he goes, but when he goes into the field, isveni, ton patera kali, he calls his father and he says, and we're going to get into what he says right here. So, but when he goes into the field, he calls his father and says, Elthethevro o pater, idu to dipnon fero, miketi un poni la kathiza kedibni. So Elthethevro, we're really familiar with that one. Come hither, father. Behold, I bring dinner. I am bringing or bearing dinner. I'm carrying dinner. Miketi, so me, not any longer. No longer, therefore, or therefore no longer work, but sit and eat. So these are all in the imperative. So sometimes the imperative will look just like the third person singular, present active indicative, poni. So no longer work, therefore, but sit, kathize kedipni, but sit and eat. Here's the next section. Let's work through it. O un patir lipi to arotron ke kali ton dhulon, kathizusin, un ama ke dipnusin, metade to dipnon o dike opolis, mena ope fisin, ke si lamvane, fereto sperma ke spire, sithe oxanthia, scaptatus lithus ke ekfere ectu agru, poligar isin ilithi ke molis dinatonestin arun, odexanthias al udinatonesti to sutus lithus ekferin. Sorry, I butchered that one. Let's try again. Odexanthias al udinaton esti to sutus lithus ekferin. Ode dikeopolis mifliari oxanthia alaponi. Ponusin un ote patir ke opes ke odhulos. Telos de katadini men o ilios I de anthropi uketi ponusin ala liusi mentus vus to the arotron lipusin ento agro ke prostonikon vradeos vadizusin. So last sentence is pretty long, but it's easy once you break it up. All right, let's work through it. O un patir lipito arotron ke kaliton dulon. Therefore the father leaves lipi, he leaves the plow, and he calls kali tondulon, he calls the slave. Therefore the father leaves the plow and calls the slave. Kathizusin un ama ke dipnusin. They are sitting, therefore they are sitting, or they sit together, ama, and they dine, they eat, and they're eating. So therefore together they sit and they eat. Meta the to dipnon o dikeopolis. So meta is a preposition. It can mean after. So and after the dinner, to dipnon, meta the to dipnon, after the dinner, o dikeopolis, fisin. So o dikeopolis is the one who's doing this verb right here, fisin. So he's the one that says, and what does he say? Mena. He gives a command, mena ope. So he's the vocative case, ope, and he tells him to remain, stay, son. He says, ke si lamvane, and help, stay and help, son. So you could take the fisin and move it right here. You could move it right there. Metade to dipnon o dikeopolis fisin, mena ope ke si lamvane. Sometimes it's easy to reword it so you don't have that break if you're having trouble with a sentence, maybe try moving a verb around, especially if there's quotes here. It'll help you make sense of it. But after dinner, Decapolis says, "Stay, son, and help." And then he continues on, "Fera to sperma que spira." Carry the seed and sow it. Sow. Cast out the seed on the ground. Sithe, oxanthia, scaptetus lithus que ekfere ectu agru. And you, sithe, oxanthia, now the vocative case talking to Odhulos, the slave, and you, oxanthia, scaptetus lithus, dig up the rocks, so dig the rocks, again an imperative command, scapte tus lithus, que ekfere, and carry out, and bear out of the field, ectu agru. So he's supposed to scapte the lithus, and then he's supposed to ekfere, ectu agru, out of the field. And he continues on in his commands to his son and his doulos, poligari sin ilithi, que molis dinaton estin arun. For they are many. So we have isin. I don't think we've met that one yet. Isin is they are. So the third person singular present active indicative of ina in the present active indicative. So isin is they are. Poligari sin, for they are many. For the stones are many. Here we see ilithi. So ilithi is is being modified right there by isin. So the stones isin, poligar, for the stones are many, que molis, with difficulty, molis, difficult, it is possible, so dinaton estin, it is possible with difficulty to plow. So we have an interesting form of the infinitive there. Arun, Odexanthias, and Xanthias responds this way. Al udinaton esti tosutus lithus ekferin. So again we have the negative particle u, which makes it obviously negative, not, it is not, and we have it is not possible. So again, dinaton often goes with estin. It is possible not, but it is not possible tosutus lithus, so great, so many stones, so great an amount of stones, to carry out, ekferin. So we just have the preposition ek, ex there, and fero. So I carry out, ekferin, to carry out. It is, Xanthias responds, but it is not possible to carry out so many stones. Continuing on, Odedikeopolis, so they're not even putting Physin in here, they're just, but Decapolis, and then here's the quote from him, Mi fliari oxanthia ala poni. No nonsense talk, oxanthia ala poni, but work. So don't sit there and talk nonsense. It's completely possible to lift these rocks and take them out. Stop making excuses. Ponusin un o te patir ke opes ke odulos. So ponusin, let's get that verb out of the way. It's a third person singular present active indicative of to work, ponin. So ponusin, they work. Therefore they work. O te ke. So te ke is both and. So therefore they work, both the father and the son and the slave. O te patir ke opes ke odulos. Telos de katedini men oilios either anthropi uketi ponusin. So we'll stop there, right there before the Allah, the but, the conjunction. Finally, telos, and finally, katedini men oilios. So we've already seen katedini oilios, the son oilios. Set, Katidini. Finally, the sun sets. On the one hand, so we have men there. So finally, on the one hand, the sun sets. I anthropi, the men. And on the other hand, the men no longer uketi ponusin, and the men no longer work. So finally, the sun sets on the. So finally, on the one hand, the sun sets, and on the other hand, the men no longer work. They cease to work. Then we'll continue on. Allah liusi men tus vus to the arotron lipusin and to agro. We'll stop there before that conjunction. So uketi ponusin, so they cease to work, but they leave liusi. On the one hand, they leave the oxen tus vus to the arotron. On the other hand, they leave. They loose. They untie. Sorry, they loose. They untie liusi. On the one hand, they untie the oxen from the yoke that was on them, and on the other hand, they leave the plow in the field. So they cease to work. Uketi ponusin. They cease to work. They stop working, but they leave on, or they untie on the one hand the oxen. On the other hand, they leave the plow, and they leave it in the field, and toa grow. And then it continues on. Ke and prostonikon. There's another prepositional phrase. Vradeos valizusin. So they go, valizusin. They go. Prostonikon vradeos. How do they go? They go slowly. So they leave. On the one hand, they untie the oxen, and on the other hand, they leave the plow in the field, and they go, vadizusin, prostonikon vradeos. They go to the home slowly. So that's it for this section. Hopefully, again, that was helpful as I work through these with you guys. God bless.